So, when I used to watch your videos or Sheikh Abdulkerim's videos, I see a lot of people, when they read Surah Fatiha, they raise their hands. But usually, like, in other mosques, I don't see people doing that. So, after watching your videos, this is something that I learned about. So, I was wondering, like, the information behind that.
This is the thing about when I talk about not planning the Islam, not knowing what kind of Islam you're going to leave to your children, not understanding the Islam that you inherit, and protecting the Islam that you inherit. When you don't understand your religion and take it seriously, don't understand where is it inherited from. People who inherit wealth especially, health too, yes. They will ask, is your father like this? Is there diabetes in your family? Is there high blood pressure? You understand how lineage goes, history goes, it's important. For wealth, you're going to say, my grandfather is rich like this, my great-grandfather is rich like this. You know, you can trace it. What about our religion? Where are we tracing it from? And whatever that we inherit, are we protecting it? Because if you don't protect your health or your wealth or your religion, it goes. So, this is especially for the leaders of society to protect it. People who are the awam, who are the masses, maybe they don't have the time or the means to do all of this, but the leaders must protect. So when the protection was not made, and the protection of generally for the ummah, the protection, the khilafat was removed, shaitan is let loose, and the people who should know better, be fighting against shaitan, they don't. When leaders are more concerned about position and money and authority, and they are more concerned about nitpicking and fighting with each other, then the general health of everyone goes down. Then it's easy for confusion to come. One of the most confusing things that they try to give, they did for close to 40 years now. It's longer than that, but strongly in those 40 years, I'm talking from the 80s up till now, is the poison of Wahhabism. And I don't even call it Salafism, because the people who are Ahli Salaf, they're from the Prophet ﷺ's time, one generation. It's like you call yourself Sahabi, or you call yourself Tabi'in. We're a Tabi'in movement. You can't. It's, what is it called? Anachronism? Anachronism. So, and they are busy with, it's not about these small khilafs, it's not about these small differences they're busy with. They don't recognize any difference. That is a problem. They say anything different from the way we interpret, anyone who is different, you are destined for the fire. You are out of Islam. It's not just differences and it's kind of wrong, it's kind of weak, it's weird. No, they say you become a harami, you become someone who deserves hellfire. And this is not an ideology only. This was done by actions. So much blood was spilt because of this understanding, and people say these are Ahli Jahannam, so we have to kill them. In fact, killing them, it is wajib. We must kill them, we must enslave the women and the children and confiscate all their wealth. And they did it. They did it. And during the time of the fall of the Khilafat, supported by the enemies of Islam, especially the British and the French, and breeding new generations of this kind of thinking, because it's very easy to breed this kind of fear and to say those who listen to us, you are guaranteed Jannat. So it gives you power in that arrogance and the power to send people to hell and the power to kill them. It makes your ego to be very happy. So whether you're lifting your hands, you don't lift your hands, you wipe your face, these are differences. That it's okay to have differences. Not putting your hand up, there is a tradition for that. Putting your hand up was also, there's a tradition, but strongly the tradition has been to put your hands up. Because Islam is not based on just differences. It's also based, Ahl Sunnat is based on ijma, the consensus, not of the people. Who cares what the people think? People don't know anything. You want to have a consensus of the people about the politics of this country. That's why it's going to the drain. What do people know? It has to be the consensus of those experts. And to be an expert is not easy. Just because you know a couple of ayats here and there doesn't make you an expert. But if they give you this shaitanic arrogance that no, you know, you're right, you go to Jannat, they go to Jahannam, then it breeds that kind of arrogance and people will not care whether they are experts or not. You understand? They don't care if the evidence shows the earth is a sphere. They don't care. Well, we used to believe earth is flat. But then again, it is a thing where our Shaykh is saying, what concerns you? If these things don't concern you, then sit down. These things don't concern you, then it is malayani, it's a sign that Allah doesn't love you. So be busy. In the old days, they tell a farmer, you know this happened. He says, oh really? He said, it's okay, I'm just going to be busy farming. I'm just going to be doing this. Because he knows himself. He knows it doesn't really make much of a difference. And his ego is kept in check. And there's times when the ego is let loose that you can do anything. You can imagine yourself to be anything. You can live in a virtual world and be anything. You can be deities of an imaginary planet, of a game that you play. You can destroy whole continents. So it used to be a time where to write novels, stories that has no basis in reality or legend is frowned upon. You don't just make stuff up. That's why they call it fiction. It's fiction, it's a lie. And even art. It's called art because it's artifice. It's artificial. But these days it's not. People are all mixed up. They take away the people who have the real knowledge, like our alims and our ulamas. They killed them by the thousands, produce new ones. So much money, so much this. Then the younger generation, then it's kind of lost. The third generation is kind of lost all of that. So to have differences, okay. But to have differences and to say, if you're different from me, you deserve to die, then that is shaitanic. That doesn't belong to any religion. And especially when the differences are minor differences, or the differences are the rationale behind them is rejected completely. Up till today, these Wahhabis, they are calling us who go to visit prophets and the awliyas in their tombs, they call us grave worshippers. We deserve to die, according to them. Our blood is halal to them. And if power is given, they would kill us right away. They won't care if they're a man, woman, or child. They will kill you. They will blow you up. That characteristic sounds similar, huh? The kind of characteristic, that trait, to just kill people like that without considering that they're human. So it comes from a source, you understand? When you look at it, Wahhabism comes from that source too. And so, we are following the mazhab of the last ruling empire of Islam, the greatest empire of Islam, the mazhab of the Hanafis, according to them too. And according to the empire's mazhab, the keepers of the Shariat is one thing, the keepers of the Tariqat is another thing. And the keepers of Shariat, they kiss the hands of the keepers of Tariqat. Both keep each other in check a little bit. So, most of the places today people call masjids. There are certain things that they do which is outside of the practice of over 1,000 years of Islam. But the claim is that it is pure, it is original. It is not. And they have over 100 years of complete massacre and bloodshed to prove for it. So we try to stay away from that kind of violence, inshallah. But we do this. There are different ways. Some like this, some like that. It's also acceptable, especially when you go to more to Southeast Asia, and those are Shafi'is. They would pray like this, make dua like this. There's a different wisdom to that. We make like this and like this. Some of them, they wipe their faces. Even that has become a source of kufr to the people who believe in this kind of Wahhabism. So, Allah protect us from their shar, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. All right. Anything else?